All right, so I had a breakdown this morning, and even though really positive things are happening in my life, they also are somewhat being overclouded by survival. And I mean, like, living, not being clear on what my next path is, having this chaos in my mind. And I was listening to something earlier, and it was talking about how when we're in alignment, things may be delayed and things may be quiet, but they're never confusing. They're clear. The messages that we get from our intuition and the guidance we get isn't muddied. And I thought back to the times that I have been clear and the times that I have followed that clarity and not let it drift away with, fears and other things. And how when I've done that, I've amplified that, and I've anchored in that alignment. But when I haven't done that, I've become more confused and more question myself more. A test of integrity. This just came out. I was just playing with my cards. I am going through a war within myself because I think I've had maybe 20 videos, or maybe now, that I've recorded. I mean, and this is just recent videos because I've recorded many videos. But I decided not to share the ones from like a year or two ago because I've changed so much. And after I began editing them for my podcast, I was just like, I don't even know that person anymore. And so I realized that's when I started videotaping my new ones. And then I was like, well, I'll just keep recording and doing the videos and I'll get them up eventually. No, that hasn't happened. And it's because it's vulnerable, and because I know I'm meant to do it. So whenever we're meant to do something, we know it deep within ourselves. It's just something that's relentless and doesn't let up. We know that it's meant for us. And when that becomes so strong, the fear goes up. It kind of becomes amplified. And sometimes it's just that last step that we have to take. And when it's that last step that's going to shift the direction of our lives, the chaos heightens the fear becomes overwhelming. The reasons why we shouldn't do it become overbearing to the point of where we begin questioning our whole path and what we've been preparing and building. And that's not a coincidence. And by me getting on here and saying this, I'm actually not just sharing this from a place of knowing. I'm in it. I'm taking those steps or not taking those steps. I'm contemplating on it because I'm giving into it. Every moment that I don't share the information that I've been guided that I need to share, I'm giving in to the lie. And there's all kinds of ways that I've justified it. There's probably going to be more ways that I'll continue to justify it, or that's a potential. Or there's also the potential that right after I record this video, I'm gonna get my freaking butt in gear and I'm going to not obsess over what needs to be edited or what needs to be fixed, or this thing that I said here could be taken wrong and maybe I need to edit it out so that someone doesn't get offended or think that I meant something I didn't, and blah 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 blah. I'm actually really annoyed of myself right now, to the point where I had a very large breakdown this morning because I'm so annoyed of myself sometimes. And the walls and limits that I put on myself, and the fears that I give into. And then I'm annoyed that I have been guided to do this in so many ways. It's just not even funny. And I convince myself that I'm doing it, but I'm not fully doing it. So when I pulled cards, I just basically said to the universe, I'm going to post these videos today, and is there anything that you want me to share before in another video before I post all the other ones? And the first 4 cards that came out are: you are the oak tree. Your journey inward is truth. And then worn fabric came out in reverse. So I'm thinking that just means take off these masks, take off these layers that you're holding on to for comfort. And then the next card was path unclear. And that just said to me, take off these layers that are making your path seem unclear, because you are the oak tree. The journey inward is where you're gonna find that truth, and it's time to take off the layers that don't serve you anymore, in order to release them, in order to become something and someone new, in order to expand. You know, it's like the snake that sheds its skin. How do you grow within an environment or a narrative that doesn't serve you anymore, that doesn't represent who you are now? And then the next line of cards that I pulled was Cobblestone Alley, which always reminds me of history and maybe even past lives and the stories that we've carried even from past lives. So I got Cobblestone Alley, and then the next card was In a World Where Dreams Intertwine with Reality. So that fit in line with the idea that, you know, I'm being reminded I'm the oak tree. I am as deep as I am tall. And I know that the journey that I'm meant to take is within. And that is where I'm going to find my truth. And it's time to take off these layers that don't serve me. And that is what's keeping my path unclear. It's time to reach into the history of who I am, of past lives, of memories, of dreams that I carry that are meant to be intertwined with reality. And the next card I got was Echoes of the Past Woven into a New Narrative. So that just showed me that it just went right in line with In a World Where Dreams Intertwine with Reality, echoes of the past woven into a new narrative. I'm pulling in what's been buried. I'm taking off the layers that don't serve me anymore, and I'm remembering. I'm remembering. I'm re-engaging. I'm realigning to these lost dreams and these lost memories of past that are buried within me. And I'm meant to weave them. I'm meant to be the weaver, the one that weaves a new story into this existence. And then the next card I got was Where the Old Story Ends. So I couldn't believe how perfect that all fit together. So as I remember the echoes of the past that are woven into this new narrative of life, I'm closing out the old. It's like by taking off the layers, by releasing the old, by undressing into this vulnerable birthday suit. I'm taking a shower, cleaning off the dirt from my face, cleaning off the things that have stuck to me, and the stories that I've told myself, and the stories that have been projected onto me. And I'm standing there just open to the new story. And in a world where dreams intertwine with reality, I'm anchoring in the echoes of the past, and I'm weaving them into my new reality. And this is where that old story ends. The next few cards I got were Salt and Air and Alchemy. When I think of salt and air, I think of cleansing. Salt cleanses. Air offers life. And obviously that would be a horrific experience to have salt air. But when I look at that, I think of a cleansing. I'm cleansing the air, the stories, because air is communication. It's speaking the word, it's the word. And I am making a new story, and I'm taking the old, and instead of sitting in it, I am transmuting it, I'm alchemizing it, and I'm cleansing it to fit the new me, to fit the new story, the new experience that's waiting for me to put it on. I've taken the old story off, but I haven't taken the steps and walked into what's new. So I'm literally standing there vulnerable, and that is where the fear comes in. That is where that war of art, the war within that keeps us from becoming the art. That's where it's able to have power. But it's like the idea that we can't see, that we're just almost there, that we're standing naked, knowing that we've shed what needs to be shed, knowing that we aren't who we were, but almost not seeing that there is a door right in front of us because of the chaos, the lies, the war that's going on around us to keep us from seeing the truth, which is the fact that we have released it, and now all we need to do is step into this new experience. And there's a reason for that, because when you're at the precipice of breaking through to the new you, that is a threat to anything, any shadows that we built within ourselves, any external shadows that may be attempting to keep us from our wholeness are going to amplify, because all of it knows that we're one step away from breaking the old and building something in the new. And so after those cards I pulled my oracle cards, and I got intuition, 12th house Pisces. Death, Pluto. Communication, Mercury. And persistence, Capricorn. And this is just obvious to me because I mean it, and I don't know if anyone's feeling the same thing, but your intuition is telling you that death is necessary. You know. Death of the old is necessary. And you are being communicated that persistence is the direction that you need to go. So I'm just gonna pull a few more cards while I'm talking, and then I'm gonna end this recording because I have a lot to do. I have a lot of videos that I need to get up today, and I need to put a death to this limited way of thinking, because I know that that is how this new journey is going to begin. The how is in the now. Exactly what I just said. I know how I'm going to get to this new experience. I know how, deep inside, because it's my intuition that's telling me, and that how begins now. What has your intuition been telling you? This is exactly what my intuition has been telling me, so I think that was perfect card to pull. I'm gonna pull two more. You heal by releasing, not suppressing. What emotions do you need to feel? That's ironic, because as much as my heart is expanding right now for different reasons in my life, it's also opening it up to feel a lot of the pain that I've been holding in for a long time. And I think sometimes when we're healing, we think, oh, our heart is healing, this is good, this is all gonna feel great. And the irony of the paradox of life in general is the fact that when you open up to things, even if it's for a good cause, you're always gonna have the shadow there. And the goal is to integrate the two, but you're gonna feel it both. You know, you're gonna feel those polar poles as you're healing your heart, as you're expanding your heart, as you're feeling that overwhelming love. You're also expanding it, and you're opening it to where the pain is seen. And you know, I think that's often why we don't even want to go there. It's like, I don't even want I guess I'll just stay here in my pain. I guess I'll just shut off my heart, because I know that when I open it, even if it feels good for a while, I'm gonna have to face the pain too. And I guess maybe that's just something that we can be aware of when we're going on this journey of healing, is that as we open things up, as we move energy through, as we experience things that are beautiful, sometimes for the first time ever, it's going to be balanced out with the darkness. And it's not so that we can run from it, it's so that we can ascend in it. And I'm talking to myself right now, okay? I'm getting the message, and so I'm not just sharing the message because I know it. I'm sharing it because it's what's coming for my guidance, and I'm expressing it so other people can do what they want with it. But as we open up to the love, and as we begin to experience what that truly feels like, we're going to experience the dark. And I just want to share, don't give up on that love. The darkness is there for us to, I see it as like a scuba diver that's going down to the floor of the ocean, and how they're looking around and they're seeing things that they've never seen before. And it's scary and it's dark and it's lonely, and sometimes there's things that can hurt us. But we need to be brave, because as we're able to do that, we can slowly build up to where we can take all these experiences, we can take all that we've seen within the darkness and transmute it. We can alchemize it. Alchemy. We can turn that lead into gold, and we can use it in whatever way we're meant to, and it's different for everybody. But in order for us to be healed, and in order for us to be fully within our heart space and to be able to create from the heart and manifest from the heart, we have to understand the depths. We have to see them and accept them and send those deep, dark, painful parts of ourselves what the balance. We send those parts of ourselves internally what we know is the possibility. And to me, that's actually such a beautiful gift, because we're always going to have to face the shadows. It kind of sucks sometimes to be like, why do things have to come up when I'm feeling so good? But I think it's a lesson, and it's a gift for us to be able to be in our wholeness and not be out of balance. And if anything, it makes me think that it makes, that love that we're feeling is just an intro. It's like an introduction. It's reminding us this is what is available to you, and this is what is coming, a taste of what's coming and what is possible. But you have to go deep to the darkness and move your way up in order to really truly know, in order to embody it. And as we move up from survival, from creativity and rawness of truth and value, when we question our value and we question how our value is mirrored back to us and whether it is and what we're going to do when it's not. You know, that's like the ultimate test to the heart. Is you may have built your foundation, you may have gotten out of survival, you may have all these creative ideas that you want to expand on and you're excited about, and then you move up to value, and you are sometimes not going to find external validation to offer you your value. Oftentimes, if it's a test, if it's a wall that you have to break through, you're not. If anything, you may even get walls and things trying to break you down. So not just walls, but actually things in your life, internally and externally, that are going to keep you, they're going to fight you, they're going to heighten that and that's the test of integrity. Wow. You heal by releasing, not suppressing. That is the journey. And I wouldn't even say releasing. I would say integrating. I would say flowing. You heal by flowing with the darkness. You accept that it's there, but you don't give up. You become resilient. All those wounds become scars. They make your hands calluses so that you can grab what is rightfully yours. Scars may not look pretty, but oftentimes they're where it's like our Chiron, it's our wounded healer. That is where we can offer healing for others. That is where we can build from. So what emotions do you need to feel? All of them. And that's really scary. But in order for us to integrate, to alchemize, to become whole, and to not suppress, we have to I see it as like this spiral moving up, like building from the different colors of the chakras. So it's like the red, and then the red blends with the orange, and then the orange and the red blend with the yellow. And instead of running from the things that may have been the shadows of those energetic centers within us, they're being blended and they're being integrated into a movement to where we're flowing and accepting and using them as fuel in order to move up to the heart and release. And that's where those pains will come out, and we'll need to sit with them a little bit. But they're not meant for us to spiral back down and to say, nope, not doing it. I'm gonna go back downwards. I'm gonna not believe in my value. I'm gonna not, be creative, because creative is vulnerable, and I just need to like stay where I'm not gonna feel, and then I'm gonna go back down to survival, and then I'm gonna not be fulfilled because I'm not in my purpose and I'm not in my heart. And then we just go back down again because we're scared. We're scared to feel it. We're scared to look at what we need to work on. We're scared to look at our shadows. We're scared to accept that we're not exactly where we want to be. But in reality, that's the oak tree. In reality, that is the key. And this is the last card. You can make it through. Your higher self is always guiding you. What wisdom does your higher self have for you? So much wisdom. It just takes unlocking what's meant for you, and that is hard shit. It's not easy, and anybody that says it's easy hasn't actually done it. So you got this. We got this. Let's do it. You can make it through. Your higher self is always guiding you, and so are your ancestors, and so are the higher energetic beings that want what's best for us, want us to remember who we are, because we're so much more than what we've been told, and we're so much more than what we can even understand. So I hope that everybody can remember that, and I just wanted to share that message today. So thank you for listening.